Good morning. Happy Sunday to everybody. I want to just take this moment in time, given a lot of the things that are happening in the Seventh-day Adventist Church denomination. I am, as a leader in this church, as a person of influence, as a pastor, as a fourth generation Seventh-day Adventist, father, a pastor, mother, an attorney who worked for the denomination, saving the denomination millions of dollars in lawsuits, etc. I believe I have just a little bit of pedigree and a little bit of license to speak and to share specifically with regional conference presidents and leaders. I'm talking about black ministries leaders all across America. Northeastern Conference, Allegheny East Conference, Allegheny West Conference, my conference, Southwest Region Conference, South Atlantic Conference, Southeastern Conference, Central States Conference, all the black ministries on the West Coast. I want you guys to listen to me and listen to me loud and clear. Respectfully, I want to appeal to all of you who are in leadership that you listen very carefully to what is being said on social media from several generations. This is not just the young generation, but I'm seeing several generations in the Seventh-day Adventist Church who are crying out, who are passionately petitioning black leadership to take a stand against the rhetoric, the white supremacy, the white privilege, the bad theology that is emanating from the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. As they are at the General Conference Annual Council, but really since 2015, what we have been hearing and what people are reacting to is they are reacting to the following things. It sounds like that if it is not white, it is not right, and specifically in areas of worship, it seems that contemporary and black worship in particular is being denigrated. Thankful to those individuals, Sarah Sultan and her team, for helping them to rewrite the music policy for the General Conference. But that thing that initially came out was steeped in racial language and tone. And we're reacting to that. We're tired of people treating black people as if the way that we approach God is somehow pagan and is somehow inappropriate and that white is right. We're also reacting to the fact that women are treated as second-class citizens. We believe that this is a civil rights issue at this point now, where you're accepting the money of women going to the seminary, but yet you will not ordain them like their male counterparts. Shout out to Columbia Union and to the West Coast for going against the system and doing what is only the right thing to do. And then now we are seeing anti-social justice rhetoric coming from the president of the General Conference just yesterday, demeaning and belittling social justice and action targeted towards uplifting communities. I don't know what he is talking about. I don't understand what would he be referring to, except that we are living in a country right now that is split down the middle because of the presidency of Donald Trump. And instead of the General Conference decrying this president, decrying his policies, decrying some of the various policies that we see coming from government related to mass incarceration, related to disproportionate amount of resources being plugged into black neighborhoods, lack of educational equality, etc. Instead of our church decrying Charlottesville and some of the other things, instead they decry social justice. And I'm saying this now specifically to regional conference presidents who I love dearly, to black leadership. We can no longer be silent on this anymore. We can no longer be silent on this anymore. We can no longer be silent on this anymore. When they were mistreating us with the retirement program, Joseph McCoy, my president, who hired me, gave me my first chance in ministry, said this is not right, the way that they are treating our workers who are essentially retiring on $700 a month. And Joseph McCoy stood up against the system, and we got our own retirement program that is the envy of the worldwide church in the black regional work. I am calling for similar action from the regional conference presidents to first decry and to verily dismiss and rebuke and reprove the language and the rhetoric that is coming from the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists that is essentially sounding like the voice of Donald Trump in religious speak. There must come a time that this must happen, and I believe that the time is now. You need to do this because you are, and I am, as a pastor, I can no longer hold back generations of young adults who are saying that they are going to withhold their tithe, who are saying that they are going to leave this denomination. We are at a critical place now. I no longer have the intellectual capacity or the energy to constantly ward off young people and young adults on social media who are sick and tired of this institution, who are tired of hearing the constant belittling of race, of racial issues, belittling of women's issues, the lack of disproportionate resources seen in some communities and others. And I'm telling you right now, there are young people, young adults. I'm not talking about a small amount, but I'm telling you, all you got to do is just look. There is a large amount of young people, young adults, and even some older folks, some Gen Xers, some baby boomers who are tired of this. And I am asking our regional conference leadership, call a caucus, come together, issue a statement, and take action against the things that are happening in the church that we can no longer stand for. I am telling you right now, there are people that I know of, and I cannot ward them off anymore. They are intelligent. They are conscious. They are woke. They are well studied. These are folks who have gone to Oakwood and to Andrews and Harvard. They have studied at the best universities. We can no longer guilt trip them into staying in an institution that does not celebrate them, but that denigrates them. I'm telling you now, there must be a word from regional conference presidents. There must be a caucus. There must be a calling us together for a plan of action. The same way we did for the retirement plan, there must be a call of action that we respond to these things. Now, I'm not telling nobody that we should up and leave the church. So I want to be very clear. This is much my denomination and my church as it is Ted Wilson's. It belongs to me too. It belongs to you. And I'm just appealing to you, before you just up and leave, just know that it belongs to you. Your tithe money is in this denomination. Your sweat, blood, and tears is in this denomination. The evangelistic efforts of your fathers is in this denomination. And before y'all just throw it aside, I'm asking that you fight for it. Fight for it first. Many of you have issues with the United States of America, but you're not leaving. You're not up and moving to Africa. Maybe some of y'all are thinking about it. But what are you doing? You're fighting for change in it. I'm telling you that the first step, before we consider any other steps, the first step is we need to consider how a plan of action can come from black people in leadership to respond to these things, the likes of what we saw with the regional retirement plan, where we said enough is enough. You're not going to treat us like second-class citizens. And I am calling for all of our leadership, those baby boomers who are running the black work. Open your eyes. Listen to the voices of those on social media. This is not a game. Social media is not some technological game. These are the voices of people. And what I am hearing, if I'm a conference president, if I am listening to the voices of people on social media, I am concerned that we may not even have a church in 5 to 10 years. By the time GC session comes, you will have lost scores of your members who are sick and tired of this foolishness. And now is a time for action. It is not a time for silence. It is more than a time for prayer. We have prayed long enough. We've been praying since 2015. And I'm saying the same way we didn't like how they were treating us with the retirement plan. We need to speak up right now, especially as they insult our worship. We know that that message that was given was a direct attack on our worship. We know it was. It was also a direct attack on white millennial worship as well, contemporary rock worship as well. Brothers and sisters, we need a church that is inclusive. We need a church that celebrates differences and diversity, and not one that denigrates one over the other. And I'm telling you right now, I'm specifically calling for my black brothers and sisters in regional conference leadership to speak up and to resist this foolishness that is coming out of the General Conference annual council sessions. But we haven't even heard what the decision is going to be regarding this unity document. They're calling for unity. They are calling for unity, but yet they are disrespecting and they are denigrating certain sections of people. I am calling again, conference leadership, Allegheny East, Allegheny West, South Central, South Atlantic, Southeastern, Northeastern, Central States, Southwest Region, Lake Region. All of you leaders, pull yourselves together and respond and take a look on social media. If you don't have a social media account, you better get one so you can see the conversations that are happening here. Be afraid of what is being said here. People are tired and we need some action. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good Sunday.